Listen up, 50 Cent just dropped a bombshell that has Hollywood shaking in their boots. He's talking about a list of A-list celebrities who allegedly got infected with STDs at Diddy's wild parties. And guys, we're not talking about small names here. We're talking about some of the biggest stars you see on your TV screen every day. This isn't just gossip or rumors. There's real evidence backing this up, and it could destroy careers overnight. So stick around, because the names I'm about to reveal will shock you. Okay, so you've heard about Diddy's legal troubles, but trust me, this story goes way deeper than what you've seen on the news. What we're dealing with here isn't just some party scandal. We're talking about federal investigations, alleged cover-ups, and some seriously criminal behavior. Here's what you're going to learn in this video. First, I'll tell you the specific celebrity names that are being whispered about in Hollywood. Second, you'll see the actual evidence that supports these crazy claims. And third, I'll explain why everyone in Hollywood is in complete panic mode right now. But here's the thing, and this is important. The most shocking stuff comes at the end of this video. So don't you dare click away, because what I reveal in the last few minutes will completely change how you look at these celebrities forever. Before I start dropping names, you need to understand what these Diddy parties were really about. Because honestly, when I first heard about this stuff, I couldn't believe it was real. So here's the deal. There were actually 3 different types of parties that Diddy threw, and each one got progressively more, well, let's just say more intense. The first type was the normal celebrity parties that everyone knew about. You know, like those famous white parties that Diddy hosted. These looked like your typical Hollywood events where celebrities would show up, take photos, and have a good time. Check out this footage right here.
Hey everyone, this is some infamous footage from Diddy's white party back in 2009. What was supposed to be a glamorous event takes a weird turn here with some pretty disturbing stuff going on. It's wild to see what really went down at these parties behind all the glitz and glam.
Now, the second type of party was called the freakoffs. And guys, this is where things get really weird. Allegedly, there were these massive white beds, we're talking the size of a tennis court, placed in Diddy's mansion where people could get, well, you can guess what happened there. I actually found some footage of one of these parties online after doing some research. You can see celebrities dancing on this huge bed, but their faces aren't visible. But man, you can tell the energy is completely off in this video.
Party on the bed. Hey, mama said don't jump on the bed. We jumping.
But here's where it gets really dark. The third type of parties allegedly only allowed a couple of people to join, and these parties were similar to those Epstein situations, if you know what I mean. This stuff is so controversial that I can't even show you clips of it here on YouTube. Now, for years, Diddy was one of the most powerful people in the music industry. He threw these large, private parties that many celebrities attended. But now, people are coming forward saying these weren't normal parties at all. They're claiming that very strange and illegal things happened at these parties. People were allegedly put in danger, and here's the kicker. The safety measures were so poor that many attendees caught STDs. And that's exactly why 50 Cent is now revealing the names of everyone who got caught up in this medical scandal. All right, here's where things get really crazy. 50 Cent isn't the only one talking about this medical list. There are actually multiple industry insiders who are speaking out about the same thing. Orlando Brown and Jaguar Wright have also made some explosive claims about over 20 infected celebrities. And guys, when I say explosive, I mean these claims could literally end careers.
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter, Diddy, and Jay-Z are monsters.
Now, Jaguar Wright made some bold statements that honestly gave me chills when I first heard them. She said, and I quote, that she could rattle off 20 names right now of celebrities who are allegedly living with HIV. But here's what really caught my attention. She claimed that nobody would be able to sue me for saying this. Think about that for a second. Why would she be so confident that she can't get sued? It suggests she might actually have real proof to back up her claims. Wright also mentioned something really disturbing. She said many of these celebrities are running around undetectable. For those who don't know, that refers to people with HIV who have undetectable viral loads but are allegedly not telling anyone about their status. But it gets even worse. Jaguar Wright called out women like J-Lo, Mary J. Blige, Sexy Red, and Young Miami for allegedly knowing about Diddy's actions for decades and still benefiting from his power and money.
Woke up over 20. See, this is the problem that I have with women like J-Lo, with women like Mary J. Blige, with trash pots like your Sexy Reds and your Young Miamis. All of these women know exactly what was happening. All of these women knew exactly what kind of monster he is. All of these women witnessed him be terrible to not just them, but to other women, and let that operate.
Now here are the names that everyone in Hollywood is whispering about. Will Smith, Meek Mill, Usher, Justin Bieber, and Kevin Hart.
You think he was asked to do something that he didn't want to do?
Yo, obviously, so was Jigga, so was Will Smith. Will Smith was first. Yo, so Diddy's locked up because why? He got the tapes and they don't want the tapes to come up.
I have to stress this. These aren't just random accusations from bitter people. These are calculated revelations from industry insiders who have been in the business for years. And honestly, in an industry where knowing too much can literally eliminate people, the fact that they're speaking out says a lot. Let me tell you about Craig Mack's situation, because this shows you the pattern of what allegedly happened to people in Diddy's circle. Craig Mack, who was a rapper signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records, allegedly died from AIDS complications. Now, according to Jaguar Wright, Craig Mack got brainwashed so bad from Diddy and got done so wrong. Here's what really gets me angry about this situation. When Craig became inconvenient to the label, Diddy allegedly didn't just drop him from the record deal. He supposedly left him broken, desperate, and sick. And you know what the worst part is? This shows you how these powerful people allegedly treat artists once they're done with them. They don't care about their health, their well-being, or their lives. It's all about profit and power. And speaking of patterns, have you noticed something weird happening lately? Celebrities are suddenly deleting their social media posts and staying completely silent about anything related to Diddy. Why do you think that is? I'll tell you why. Because they know that federal investigations are ongoing, and they're scared that their names might come out next. Now let's talk about the evidence that the federal government has collected, because this isn't just about rumors and accusations anymore. There's actual physical evidence. Federal agents conducted massive searches of Diddy's multiple properties. And when I say massive, I mean they weren't just looking for party supplies. They found what investigators described as literal mountains of evidence. Here's something that absolutely shocked me when I read the court documents. And you probably know about this revelation as well. As we all know, investigators seized more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from Diddy's properties. 1,000 bottles, guys. But here's the really disturbing part. The court documents state that these items were used in those freakoffs I mentioned earlier. These were elaborate performances that Diddy allegedly arranged, directed, and often electronically recorded. So not only did these alleged activities happen, but they were also recorded, which means there's video evidence of everything that went down at these parties. Now, here's where 50 Cent comes into the picture with his documentary project. 50 Cent, through his company G-Unit Film and Television, is co-directing a Netflix documentary series with Alexandria Stapleton about Diddy. The documentary is tentatively titled, Did He Do It? And it's going to explore all the serious allegations against Diddy, including sexual assault and racketeering. We're talking about decades of accusations here.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participate.
But here's what 50 Cent said about making this documentary. And this quote really stuck with me. He described the project as an octopus because new accusations keep coming out constantly. It's like every time they think they have the full story, more victims come forward with new information. And get this, 50 Cent also claimed that powerful industry figures are trying to stop the documentary from being released. Netflix secured the rights to host it in September 2024, but they still haven't announced a release date. For years, 50 Cent has been calling out what he calls Diddy's sus behavior. Most people dismissed him as just being a hater who was trying to start drama. But now, with everything that's coming to light, it looks like 50 Cent was right all along. 50 Cent has openly talked about feeling uncomfortable at Diddy's parties. He mentioned hugs that were from the front and the back at the same time. and said, "This ain't my kind of party." Looking back, it seems like 50 Cent saw something that made him keep his distance. And let me tell you about Fabulous's experience at one of these parties, because this story really shows you how weird these events were. Fabulous shared a story about attending one of Diddy's parties, where he felt uncomfortable by the things that were happening on that big white bed. During an interview on the Drink Champs podcast, Diddy himself actually confronted Fabulous about not partying with him. And you could see how visibly uncomfortable Fabulous was during that conversation. People who watched the interview noted his timid behavior around Diddy, which led to a lot of speculation about what he might have experienced.
Mr. Lee,
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my
Champs with you.
bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
Oh,
when
it's
you
right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping
here.
for shit.
No, I got notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I've been practicing.
And it seems like a thing.
I
It's
miss
his
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with-
for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
Yeah, we partied for my birthday before. You came to my party. And...
No, but me and you ain't never really partied. Gary Gray. You know, I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But
Then there's the YK Osiris situation, which is really disturbing if these allegations are true. YK Osiris had an Instagram Live breakdown where he was expressing feelings of isolation and distress. Rumors started spreading about Diddy allegedly grooming YK Osiris, especially after Osiris reportedly took a trip to Jamaica around the same time Diddy was there. Fans connected Osiris's alleged mental health issues and substance abuse problems to a pattern of Diddy's alleged involvement with young men in the industry. Osiris later denied having a romantic relationship with Diddy, saying he was in Jamaica with his own woman. But the video suggests that Osiris might have been trying to save his dying career by getting involved with Diddy, especially after a scandal where he was caught forcibly kissing someone. Look, I'm going to be straight with you. This medical list that 50 Cent is teasing isn't just celebrity gossip that we can laugh about and forget. This list might be revealed in the upcoming 50 Cent's documentary. This is potentially the smoking gun that exposes Hollywood's most dangerous secret. So, what do you think about these explosive claims? I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which celebrities do you believe are on this alleged medical list? And do you think 50 Cent's documentary is going to expose even more shocking information?